I didn't say that now. Definitely.
They like it when you're down.
I never said that. I said
Crabs
when
in a
you were
barrel, huh?
poor, we were able to do the show on a more consistent
I see what you're
basis.
saying.
You're more
Okay.
worried about money and paying rent than doing the show. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy, Feather Designer, back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love as always, man. A lot to get into on today's episode as the Billy is gone. Billy Donovan essentially kind of sparing us and saying, hey, listen, it's not me. It's you. I'm going to get up out of here. Billy Donovan has stepped down as the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. And we got to talk about why this is going to be big for the Bulls to have a chance to get this right? Like we can still Bulls this up, but at a minimum, they do have a good chance to get this right. Also got to go up there and listen into the Brian Piccolo Awards today. Couple new award winners. Got an injury update on a pretty big player there. I wouldn't say a full-on update, but a surprising one for when the injury took place. And of course, got to talk about some of the Bears draft plans here. I think that the direction that they are okay with going speaks to two very big players that we have talked about in our mock drafts. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. As always, I am joined by Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. JC, how you feeling, my guy?
I'm feeling good. I'm very tired from said work that I have now. I literally made it 5 minutes before you started the show. Took me about 2 hours to get back home, so that was great.
You could have just came for the show at that point. Jesus, like,
I'm sorry. I just, I'm trying to commit.
Where they got you working at? Did this take you 2 hours to get there?
All the way. Well, it's really because of traffic. I mean, I'm all the way up north in like the what is that, Pacific and Belmont. I don't know what town that is, like Irving
Park. You can't take the train and Uber there for that? Like,
no, you gotta drive. Gotta drive. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it now.
See, if you just wasn't worried about eating and paying rent, you'd be fine, man.
Hey, if there's a way I can get around that, yeah, sure. I'd love to live life.
Well, you could probably survive for about 6 months before we really became an issue.
Just living off all the excess meat and steak I've already eaten.
Yeah. Just live off the natural meats that you have accumulated over time.
Natural meats is crazy.
Let's talk a little bit of Chicago Bulls. Weird to say that on the Windy City Breeze. We haven't gone in heavily on Chicago Bulls a ton here, but I mean, over these last couple of months, seems like we're going to be back in the mix with this because the conversation has shifted completely as the Bulls have gone full reset on this thing. And dare I say, this is the best situation that the Bulls could have been in going into this offseason because it felt like Billy Donovan was going to return to the team. I didn't have as much as a problem as many of you did with Billy as a coach, but I did feel like, why are you going to bring a new GM in if he is going to be still here and calling a ton of the shots here, right? Like, you just make him the guy at that point. With Billy Donovan stepping away, though, I think the Chicago Bulls enter this part where you've got a ton of money in the offseason. You've got a ton of opportunity and really good candidates. We talked about it on yesterday's episode last night of some of the candidates that the Bulls could be in on here. I love the list that they and the search firm have compiled here, and the Bulls have got an interview scheduled with all of these guys. So it feels like the Bulls are getting off to a good start here. With Billy Donovan now out of the building here, Jordan, do you feel like this is what this team has been waiting for, and now they can start anew and start fresh and possibly start winning, start some winning ways around this stadium?
Well, let's pump the brakes on the winning part.
Slow down the wins. All right.
Relax. But no, I think this is a good start. And this is not something that they were looking forward to. Clearly, they wanted Billy Donovan to be a part of the organization still, whether it was staying as head coach or maybe a front office role. But I think after extensive conversations, Billy had the wherewithal and the smarts to say, hey, if you want a new regime in, then it probably is best that you kind of just completely just tear away from everything from the past. And since I'm part of that, I got to go. So I'm going to take a step away. I'm going to make the smart choice of saying I will step away since you couldn't. And I'm speaking about Michael Reinsdorf saying, well, if the guy that comes in doesn't want Billy, we don't want him. That's not smart business. And so I feel like Billy did the shrewd thing and did what Michael was supposed to say and say, well, we have to kind of clear house completely. And so whoever we choose to be a part of this next iteration of Bulls quote unquote success, they have full autonomy, they have full control to choose whatever they want, whoever, what kind of players they want in the draft, what kind of front office or staff they want to create with coach, that's where we should be. And so I'm glad that, Billy, after I think 6 seasons, it seems like he's been here longer for whatever reason, but only 6 seasons. He's the 4th winningest coach in Bulls history, behind Phil, Mata, and Thibodeau. I think.
Tom Thibodeau in there. Yeah, that's insane. That tells you a lot.
As much as they've lost, he's won, I guess, a decent amount, enough to be the 4th winningest. So for me, I like the move. I like the shrewdness that Billy showed. I wish him well, whatever venture he goes into, whether it's another team or he's taking a break. This is good for the Bulls. Whether they win or not going forward, that's going to be up to, obviously, the decision of who they pick. I know we talked about the number of candidates that seem like are good candidates, including, the Bob
Myers,
his last name, Bob Myers. Thank you. That probably should be included in that bunch as well. But we'll see what happens going forward.
Listen, I like the fact that Billy had the wherewithal to say this ain't gonna work for me. Like, again, right? Like, what's coming down the pipeline here. It's going to be a full reset. Maybe it would have been a couple of years with Billy to kind of try and move forward here. But eventually, unless you win a championship, you're going to be on the chopping block. And I don't expect the Bulls to be in championship contention anytime soon. Realistically speaking, even if we find the guy in this upcoming draft that is the future of this team, you're still talking about usually a couple of years of development there that it's going to take for that player to get to a point where you feel great about that. But the one part that I love about this most is, and Bobby Marks tweeted this out, the Bulls now in need of a GM, a president of basketball operations, and a head coach. But I think the Bulls have one of the best setups right now of things that you could offer. When you talk about free agents, pretty much everyone is gone here. Nick Richards gone, Colin Sexton gone, Anthony Simons gone, Gershon Yabusele gone, Zach Collins gone, Leonard Miller gone, Mohamed Gouye already. And these were guys that were on two-way deals. Mohamed Gouye actually in the playing in the playoffs right now. And they keep calling him Mohamed Gay. And okay. Bro, here's the problem, bro. They keep going. Mo Gay checking in.
That's
I'm
crazy.
Like, come on, bro.
That's
what are we doing right now?
Mo Gay, really?
And I don't know if you got a chance to listen to Costa Loveland today. There's been some pauses around sports. Costa Loveland was talking about how much of a load he could take.
Whoa!
Yeah, he was going crazy. I know they're gonna clown him in the group chat, but we'll get to that. But yeah, these are some of your free Mac McClung, Yuki Kawamura, Lachlan Albrecht, all guys that end up being free agents at the end of this. Guys that are still on the team that have team options: Rob Dillingham, Patrick Williams, Leonard Miller, Noah Essingham, Mohamed Gouye. Some of those fall into multiple categories there. And then Josh Giddey, Trey Jones, Isaac Okoro, Matas Buzelis, and Jalen Smith are pretty much the entire team right there. You've got $58 million in cap space. You've got 9, 15, 38, and 56 coming up in June. And as far as trade exceptions and things like that, you've got a $9.4 million exception. You've got a vet minimum. And of course, the first and second round draft capital there. So like, you've got a ton to work with and sell this team on, or sell this GM on this team here. I think that the Bulls have one of the best chances to get it right, especially if you are dealing with somebody who has an ego, like we know many people around sports do. If you fix the Chicago Bulls, just like the Chicago Bears have been fixed, you become a god. That does not mean that we don't question some of the things that you will do, but realistically speaking, Ryan Poles is good in this town based on what we saw last year. Got to fix the defense, but he's good. And it took that time for him to get there, to learn the job, to figure out the right direction, find the right head coach, right? So, the Bulls have the ability to sell this here. And I think it's a great look for a GM. I think it's a great look for somebody who's trying to make their name as a head coach coming up in this process, or somebody who has been a part of building out teams that have been at the bottom and needed to get to the top, right? Like I love, if we're talking about coaching names, Jordan, like my number one that keeps screaming out to me, Taylor Jenkins. I love Taylor Jenkins. I feel like he is he's one of those coaches we talk about that if you give him his team, he can beat you with them. And if you give him your team and give him a week, he can beat you with them. I don't think there's many coaches like that in the NBA. I don't know why he got fired. If there was a little
correct me if I'm wrong. That's the Grizzlies former coach, right?
Former Grizzlies head coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Yeah.
But that would be the guy that I would love to have in the building for the Chicago Bulls here moving forward.
Okay, I mean, I'm not mad at Taylor Jenkins, but I'll be honest with you, Pat. I think we already got off to a bad start. After you named all those names, there's one future perennial all-star superstar that you're letting go of, and his name is Leonard Miller. You watch out for Leonard Miller.
He's got a team option. If the team wants to pick him up, they can pick him up.
Okay, all right.
But
I'm just joking with you on that one because I know you always think I say.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It would be hilarious if Leonard Miller left and became a star, because I'd just be like, hey, that's on me.
He's gonna be another IO.
That's my bad.
God. I'm gonna be pissed. But no, I do like Taylor Jenkins as a name. Other candidates as well. For whatever reason, I kept hearing Mark Jackson in a lot of threads that I was in earlier while I was at work.
Oh my God, bro.
I don't know if I'm gonna go that route. I don't know.
Let's get this out the way early.
Okay.
Mark Jackson not coming here.
Yeah.
And Tom Thibodeau don't need to come back.
No. I'm not with the Tom. Not with a young core. Not with a young core.
And no, because here's my issue, right? Here's my issue. Hear me out on this. Everybody wants Tom. I know what Tom means to us. Let that live is what it was, right? We had a great relationship with Tom. We love Tom. Don't Robin Ventura, Tom Thibodeau. Because here's the thing. Y'all ready to set Billy Donovan to the stake and torch it for not winning a championship?
Yeah.
Did I miss the Thibodeau ring?
No.
Did I miss that Tom Thibodeau conference final? Can somebody fill me in on how great he was everywhere else, that he won so many championships that we gotta have him back? I love Tibbs, but let him live for what he was. We do not need to run that back.
No, that doesn't make any sense either. I mean, they let him go after a successful New York Knicks season. So for me, like you got to put the right coach with the right team. Like if Tom Thibodeau had a team where it was older vets who were a little bit more seasoned, more reliable, more playoff ready, then yeah, you run with them. But Tom Thibodeau does not do well when you pair him with developing players. If you put Tom Thibodeau on this team last year, Midas Buzelis doesn't become half of what he is right now, in my opinion, just because of the patience that Billy had with him for him to develop and still get starting minutes. That man be at the end of the bench because Tom is saying you got to work on some things. So for me, again, you got to get the right coach that will thrive in helping young players to develop, that is good at developing players, period. And I again, Taylor Jenkins is a name that comes to mind. You get some talented core pieces in the building, which you already can build off of with your Giddies and your Modest Buzelises, then I think that's the route to take. Plus, you got 2 draft picks, thankfully, to Portland. Like you said, you got a good amount of money. I think the reason why you will attract free agents here is because they know that everything is completely been stripped down. And there's no association to the old regime. AK's out, Mark Eversley is out, Billy is now out. And so they can have confidence that whoever is at the head of this now, maybe they can attach themselves to it. And so that's what I think is the allure of getting a Bulls position or coming to the Bulls as a player as well is, this is really a full rebuild.
Yeah, listen, I think this is a bottom out situation. I wouldn't be surprised. And I think one thing you got to prepare for, right? Like, I love Giddey. I love Modest. I'd love to see them stay here. Somebody new may come in and say, I love draft picks and building teams up from the ground up. Don't be surprised. And don't be overly attached to anybody through this process.
Ooh,
like,
tough.
Sure. I'm not saying it's not. But you know what Josh Giddey and Modest Buzelis can get you? First round picks.
More first round picks, yeah.
like guaranteed first round picks. And there are teams that feel like they missed on guys like that. Now, I would assume that a new GM is going to come in, see what Modest can do, see how Giddey plays, and say, I want that to be what my team is. We know that the Bulls really don't want to bottom out, so I do think that kind of takes some of the candidates out of the equation that maybe we talk about here. Hit that like button if you agree. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. But the bottom line for me with all of this is if you are now entering this process where you've got the opportunity to do a full reset, you've got the opportunity to build this thing up from the studs, very similar to what you just saw the Chicago Bears do. Take your time with the process of finding that guy. And I'm not saying like take all day, right? The draft is around the corner. You've got the lottery coming up. You're going to have, I will say this, depending on where the pick ends up, right? You might be getting a very different look at candidates that are going to be coming in here. But do the due diligence that needed to be done. Very similar to what we saw the Chicago Bears do when they were going through finding the GM prospects. Now, I know it took a while for Ryan Poles to hit in this city, but realistically speaking, you look at a lot of the moves and you feel like, okay, we've got a GM that's at least competent at his job. You now have him bringing in the guy that I would say is his real head coach here. And all of a sudden that competency goes down to the coaching staff. It all starts at the top. And the one thing that I respect about this, especially when the Reinsdorfs went out and got the search firm, is you realize you're too, oh, that's the right way to say it. I was going to try and be PC about it. You realize you're too stupid to figure out what to do. And that's okay. Like, that is okay to say. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of stuff I'm too stupid to do. You know what I mean? Like, but you realize, hey, I'm in this role and I'm in charge of this, and this is not going well with me in charge. I need to find somebody else that knows what they're looking for. And then we can kind of make our decision there, but find us the list of names that we need to bring in the building. The fact that Michael Reinsdorf is starting there, I think acknowledges the mistakes that he made in the past.
What's that saying that the definition of insanity is that, you know, you're doing the same thing over expecting a different result? Like, yeah, it's okay to say, you know what, I'm not pretty intelligent when it comes to this specific area, so I'm going to bring in guys that are part of a really good search agency that can show me, okay, this is a good candidate, this is a good candidate, let's narrow it down to this list, and then we'll go over the credentials and see who's the best one, who wants to be here, but who also we would want in the building as well. So I love that they're going about this a different way. It gives a little bit of hope that this Bulls organization can turn it around and become a successful organization again, like the 90s. But, you know, again, we got to start with the right picks. We got to start with the right decision first. And again, I think the first ball to drop that was really good is that Billy finally stepped away and did what was needed to do so that this can be a full-on new thing going forward.
Yeah. And look, I would love to go into, you know, which head coach I want and the deep dive and all that. I don't know who's running the show. Dare I say, for the first time in a long time, the Bulls are doing this in the right order. Remember last time we hired AK, Jim Boylan was still here, and they were like, "You might see if you want to keep him. Think about it. Look at him; he's bald. He can't go in the world and just exist in a bald way. You know what I mean, you got to keep him around."
Wasn't he from the Popovich tree?
Yeah, he's from the Popovich tree. That's why it's funny because I was like, last time we pulled from the Pop tree, I was ready to pull my hair out. But
that's a
Jim Boylan also like. I don't know.
He's good in a lesser role.
He's good at I need the coach to be one-on-one with the player role. He's not good in the I need you to manage the egos and the teams and all of the different people that are in place. I mean, you had them punching in and punching out on time clocks. Like, don't find a moron. No. I mean, you do that, you're doing great. If you do that, you're doing phenomenal moving forward. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about the Chicago Bulls and Billy Donovan going their separate ways? I really think that this was and maybe this is giving the Reinsdorf too much credit. I truly know that they don't like firing people because they don't want the embarrassment attached to your name. And so I wonder if this was all take a couple of days after the season. Announce that you've resigned so that you can go out on your terms. We don't mind looking like the dummies we're billionaires.
Maybe.
Like, I always think that's on the table.
It possibly is, just to save face. You're right.
So we'll see what ends up happening. We'll keep you covered with everything Chicago Bulls here and on the Chicago Bulls Breeze with Philly the fourth, I should say. So shout out to Philly in the building. I had to check on Philly and drop the video in a couple of days. Make sure Philly's still around here. Let's talk a little bit of football here, Jordan JC, because I think there's a lot to get to in the NFL world as well. Got a chance to go up there and be at the Brian Piccolo Awards today. Colston Loveland and TJ Edwards won those awards today. It was really cool to see. Colston really seemed to be affected by it and took it to heart. I don't want to say he was choked up in some moments, but you could see that it sunk in how important that award was around the Chicago Bears and, of course, with the Piccolo family and things like that there. But on the flip side of that, the three-peat winner and TJ Edwards, who also took a shot at LeBron today.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that with Courtney. I didn't know what that was about.
Took a little shot at Bron. He was like, "You gonna get 3P T-shirts made?" And he was like, "LeBron can't." And I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." Because he grew up here. He's Chicago. He probably Jordan guy. I would assume.
Okay, all right.
I love it. I love it. I love that feistiness. But bottom line, TJ Edwards walking with no limp seems to be. I know he said he was working hard in the offseason. He also said he doesn't want to put a timeline on this, but I would expect at some point this summer we see TJ Edwards back on the football field, which is crazy for someone who had a broken fibia and whose ankle we saw hit the spinneroonie on the field.
Tell me you did not just say that.
Tell me you did not just say that. Like, I'll be honest with you. I was in shock today. I thought that it's funny because one of the guys that works up there, Stevie Chuck, big shout out to Stevie. He actually broke his fibia, and he's on the little wheelchair cart thing where it's like one knee is under there, and TJ Edwards is walking around. So it's just, I was amazed by it. I was excited by it. I thought that TJ, was very open and honest about the situation that he's in, especially with a lot of new linebackers coming into that room. Devin Bush being added back in there. DeMarco Jackson returning, who, let's be real, DeMarco Jackson looked better in TJ Edwards' role than TJ Edwards did last season, probably because of the injury. But I think that we can honestly say that if we look at the tape. And then adding back in Jack Sanborn, who has been somebody who we talked about is he's not going to be the fastest, he ain't going to be the quickest, but he's going to play the right way, know what the playbook is, and get there. I thought TJ was very honest about, listen, there are times where doubt creeps in, but I've had doubt my entire life, and you got to find a way to overcome it. And to me, the fact that I think there is a conversation there, right? You see Tremaine Edmonds get up out of here. You see Kevin Byard get up out of here. DJ Moore. I think, and these are guys who, two of those guys were on contracts already. I think there's a conversation to be had that TJ Edwards was looking around and was like, "Oh, they're getting rid of people out here. Okay, let me make sure that I'm ready to go this coming training camp." It was good to see TJ moving, no limp, nothing wrong with him.
I love it. That's a point of competition. You should never feel comfortable. We've seen players who've gone down that were really, really good, and then they get replaced and they pretty much lose their starting position. And so that's what this league is about, is competition. Ben Johnson said as much. Nobody should feel comfortable. Now, we know you got your outliers. Ain't nobody replacing
Caleb Williams ain't worried.
Yeah, we ain't worried. Tory Taylor's not worried.
He should be worried. He should be very concerned.
I'm just saying, But all in all, I love that he is coming back strong. You have athletes every now and then that kind of get ahead of schedule with their whatever the diagnosis is. Doctor says, okay, you need 6 to 8 months to recover from this, and then this is the recovery and the rehab that you got to go through, and then boom, they're back in 4 or 5. You saw that with Jalen Johnson, which might have hampered him a little bit. He still was a little kind of hurting and not 100%, but he still got out there. And so this could be the same with, TJ Edwards. You're seeing players come, Devin Bush, and like you said, DeMarco, who kind of put his name on the map last year as a starting middle linebacker, or I should say strong side. Was it strong side, or is it middle for
talk about
TJ?
DeMarco? DeMarco was off ball.
Off ball. Okay. So he did show that he could play, in a sense, a better version.
He also
of
played
football.
Middle. I guess
he was all over the map. There was a lot of injury.
He played both because remember he was calling the plays and when Tremaine was out.
Down. Yeah. So you know that too. The diversity is very big as well. So you know you're looking at somebody kind of barreling down on it. Well, that would have been a pause. I was gonna say barreling down on you, but basically like trying to take your job, and that's when you're like, okay, I got to put in the work to come back so I can show my worth. So I love to see it. It only makes that room in particular, that positional group, that much stronger because you got your Devin Bushes, your like you said, Jack Sanborn. All of these guys have are quality players and are going to contribute to the team. And so I love that he might be on schedule ahead of schedule for the team.
Yeah, that's the hope. Stay ahead of schedule, keep moving in the right direction, and hopefully you're able to get the most out of TJ Edwards this season, especially after signing that big contract last year and being somebody that you talked about Dennis Allen as relying on a guy like TJ Edwards on a pretty consistent basis. Speaking of Dennis Allen here, we got to talk about got to hear from Jeff King, new Ian Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen. Dare I say the white Ian Cunningham? No, I'm not gonna say that, although I just did. No, listen, new assistant of the Chicago Bears, Jeff King, assistant general manager of the Chicago Bears, Jeff King. Got to hear from him today. And got to hear from Ryan Poles. The Ryan Poles portion of it, it was short. It was to the point. He talked about picking up Darnell Wright's 5th-year option. And I'll say this, already talking about extending Darnell Wright here. And I think there's a conversation to be said, should we be looking for extensions for a lot of these guys? And we'll probably talk about that a little closer to camp here. But, I love the fact that you picked up that 5th-year option essentially to extend the timeline to be able to sit down and hopefully work out a contract here moving forward. I think you when you talk about Darnell, everything that he overcome, and we talked about that the other day, he is someone who you want to have a part of this football team for a long time. So picking up that option was a no-brainer, but hearing that you want him to be a part of this offensive line for the foreseeable future, I think is even more exciting there.
Yeah, you don't try to you don't put those type of players to chance or put them on the market. Like Darnell Wright, the only issue that was in question is his consistency, and he's proven that over the past couple of years. And being a steady force over there, who is, you look at some of the wonderful highlights this past year. The main one that stood out, Brian Burns coming trying to get to Caleb, and he just, what did he one-arm him and just pushed him to the ground like a little kid? It's just like, hey, sit down for a second.
The one for me will always be the Jalen Carter one. But Jalen Carter ends up stunting outside and goes for the spin, and he pushes him down. He gets to the point where he's like, all right, dog, you got to get up, bro. They're going to call a penalty on me. Let me help you back. I'll get your butt back.
That is a good one.
Because to me, that's the one that makes it that was the moment for me, at least, where I went, all right, good draft pick.
Okay, yeah, he's arrived.
Okay, yeah, he's probably going all pro here. Because to that point, we were like, maybe Jalen Carter. There's a guy, he's already good. Darnell Wright was like, have a seat. All right, now you got to get back up, bro. Come on, dog. Get up a little bit.
That's what you want. You want that assurance, because even though last year we were very confident in everybody that we had on the line, pretty much from left to right. Now you're going into an off season where your assurance is obviously Joe Thuney for as long as he wants to play. Drew Dahlman retires surprisingly, and so you gotta try to make sure that Garrett Bradbury is at least the answer for a little while you try to address that in the draft or whatever you think you're going to do with that position going long term. Because I don't think Bradbury is the answer long term. I think he's a good stopgap in a sense. But then you got your Jonah Jackson and your Darnell Wright. So you got 3 of the 5 that are, in my opinion, solidified, that are going to be good for quite some time, if you were to, eventually extend Jonah as well. So center, left tackle, those are the issues. But I love that the right tackle position is now a plus on this team, this line, because you got to protect Caleb. We had a really good year where the sack totals went all the way down from his first year, and we have to build on that. And so, tying up a guy like Darnell Wright with that 5th-year option, and then knowing that you're probably going to extend him, that's a good move.
To me too. I mean, you bring up that center conversation. I thought it was very eye-opening today hearing from Jeff King about, the perception around age with where this draft is at, because we've talked about that a ton, right? With guys like Akeem Messidor, with if you're talking at center position, a Logan Jones, who me and you have both said, I think for the most part it is agreed upon as well, probably the best center in this draft, but also the oldest center in this draft. I got a chance to ask Jeff King about that today, and I cut that short on the channel. And, you know, to me, I wanted to know, okay, well, where does age play a part in this? Do you look at age and say, hey, you know, if this guy's 25, we're out because in 5 years he's going to be 30, and you look at the contract, and what he said was, listen, it's about the miles that are on the guy, realistically speaking. I think you probably also could say it's about the position, right? You probably don't want, although maybe that is the way to go for my philosophy there. If you draft a 25-year-old running back in the 5th round every year, you can just get rid of them as they die. just like a conveyor belt where they just jump off a cliff.
Oh, that's
back
just,
to back right. to back. Anyway, but you know, listen, I think, you know, what he came away with was, you know, it depends on the production that we see there as well. And so, you know, the bottom line, my takeaway from it was names like Akeem Messidor, if they're there at 25, keep an eye on it. Names like Logan Jones in the 3rd or 4th round, if they're there when the Bears are selecting, keep an eye on it, because those might be guys that the Chicago Bears are looking to bring in to the building. And dare I say, you know, we talked about a ton, right? Should you be win now? Should you be all in? Should you be yada, 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 yada? This is a weird opportunity where you kind of can be that via the draft. Akeem Messidor doesn't come in and go, oh, well, you know, all the sacks that I had, you know, I don't know how to do those. I don't know how to work my body yet because I'm still growing. 25 years old. Yeah. He knows his moves. He knows what he needs to do. He needs to figure out the defense. I'm not saying that there's not going to be development that has to happen there, but this isn't, I love the person Courtney used. This isn't Velus Jones. Neither of these guys are Velus Jones. It's not, hey, you got to show me what you can do because I haven't seen any of it. This is, hey, can you continue to do exactly what you've been doing in college for the next 5 years? If you can, then we can talk about a second contract. If you can't, then it's a little bit tougher. But hey, we gotta pivot. We gotta move on. We're only locked into you for 5 years here. So I feel like the fact that they're looking at the production over the age with some of these guys is a little bit exciting in my world, because I think if Akeem Messidor is there, and I actually don't think he'll be there, but if he is there at 25, how do you let him get past you? If Logan Jones is there in the 4th round, how do you let him get past you?
Yeah, no, that's a very good conversation to have, because now we're I think maybe for a few years now, we've entered into a new era of how teams view the draft and the players, whether they're older. I know a lot of teams in the past, and even still now at times, especially if you're at the top of the draft, still want young prospects that they can control for quite some time. But if you're, you know, in the range where the Bears are, you know, I love the answer that he gave, where it's like, you know, you have to factor in, like you mentioned, the injury history, the tread on the tire. You know, a lot of, and I think he mentioned a lot of players are returning to school because they're getting paid with these NIL deals.
Yeah, NIL, you get 5 for 5 coming up here.
Yeah, it's like it's a new day. And so that's the reason why you do have older prospects now coming out of college. And it's going to probably be more of that. But that doesn't mean they're any less talented than the younger guys. It just means, you know, going into their second contract, they're going to be 28, 29, 30, like you had mentioned in your when you question them. So I think that's a very good open-minded response by him. And I think that's the route they're going to take. I also heard him say, you know, when it comes to either best player available versus need, I think we got our answer on what they're going to do. I think BPA is the route to go if they don't trade out of that 1st round. I think the way he said it, it sounds as if it's not a question whether or not the best player available is going to be the route taken. Because again, he said, like, if what did he say? He said BPA and need, if they're not on the same level when it comes to that position,
you go BPA.
You go BPA, which makes all the sense in the world, because you want the best football player for your team. And then worry about, okay, well, if we got a guy who can at least fill the be a rotational piece, or at the very least be decent at a hole or need that we have, then now we got that filled up, and we got a superstar in the making here because we went with BPA. That makes sense for the overall team, and so I love that answer by him as well.
Yeah, the one thing you never want to do is look back and go, "Ooh, that guy would have been really good here, and we had a chance at him." You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we've done every year. We've talked about this ad nauseum with some of the people that the Bears have passed on, right? I mean, you didn't want to go linebacker because you felt strong enough at linebacker, so you passed on Terrell Suggs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's things like that where you go, well, we don't need that position, so we're not really worried about who the best player at that position is. Like, I think it's different in the sense of quarterback because there's a leadership that has to be had there that is almost irreplaceable if you find the right guy with the right coach and things like that. And it feels like the Bears truly have that now. But just about every other position, like, if you told me, you know, we're set at left tackle with Ozzie Trapillo, but you look at Caden Proctor, or Dan Richard looks at Caden Proctor and he goes, Ozzie's good. Caden Proctor is going to be a Hall of Fame caliber player. You take Caden Proctor at 25 because you're not going to be in this position where people are going to remember, dang it, you also had Ozzie Trapillo. Everyone's going to remember you let Caden Proctor go, but what the heck was wrong with you? And I'm not saying that Caden Proctor is going to be that player, but I use that example because there's a lot of people that say, you know, that we don't need a left tackle right now because in the future, we're going to have a left tackle that's coming back. Well, if he's the best player there, you take him. Because the worst thing you want to do is you go after a Zion Young and you say, oh, Zion Young, he's going to be fine. He's cool. But Caden Proctor's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how we feel. Listen, we did it. I love Rome. The person, I think he's going to be a great leader. Need him to catch the ball more consistently. We're not having half the conversations we're having right now if you took who clearly was a better player on the board on a different position in Jared Verse.
Yeah.
You went with, I want the high side. I want to give Caleb a wide receiver to work with. I understand the philosophy. I agree with it. But we're not having half the conversations we're having today if you took the better player on the board, who was believed to be the better player on the board by most of the people there, but you went offense. Philosophy makes sense, but now we're always going to look back and say, I hope Rome hits, boy, because Jared Verse is a monster.
And that's the thing is you're when you go BPA, you're raising the ceiling of your overall team. Defense, offense, special teams, you're raising the ceiling of everything that you're trying to accomplish when you got a football player who can do whatever, you know, you need him to do on the field, the versatility and whatever his strengths are. And so for me, again, when you talk about, for example, like Akeem Essador, he has the highest floor. Even though he's 25, he has the highest floor. He's already proven himself. You know, you could say he's a man amongst boys in college, but I mean, when you look at the numbers, dude is the Myles Garrett of college right now. Like, he's putting up crazy numbers, and that could translate because, like you said, at 25, you've already understood maybe, you know, how to condition your body in the off season, go through a certain regimen and routine to be NFL ready and pro ready. And so you don't necessarily have to maybe develop that into him as much as a younger prospect, a 20, 21-year-old who's still kind of got the Similac behind the ears in a sense, you know, when it comes to certain things. So for me, like that's the give and take of going that route is, yes, you won't have as much control maybe over a person, but when we talk about the windows of a team winning, it's usually what, 4 or 5 years before you try to re-up. Oh, there's the walking zombie.
I'm just like
the fact that she came in the picture.
I'm just sitting here and I'm just like,
I love that she
just like,
comes in the out of nowhere.
It's the disrespect of I'm doing a show.
Disrespect.
And you just don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's the I know you doing this show right now. I can hear you.
I can see you
clearly speaking loud enough where I'm assuming that this is a Pat the Designer situation. And I'm still gonna come down. What's up, shorty?
Hey man, that's what we got to do. I ain't got a daughter,
and all you
but
wanted
I know
was a hug. Get up here.
Gotta take care of the daughters. It's all about the family first.
Yeah,
No, but that's the thing is I love the approach that they're going to take. Now, come Thursday, if they switch it up and we trade back, which again, that's another thing he said. They're open to that too. Trading back, trading up. He also said, there's an opportunity for all of those options in this draft. Now, do I believe that? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I love the confidence in just him speaking, in that role for the first time. He said some really good things that gives you confidence that he's not in over his head for this role.
Yeah, I think one, he's working with Ryan. So Ryan is the one who has the ultimate say on all of this. But two, I do think you look at Jeff King and kind of the input that he gives, and you feel like you're not going to miss a beat with where Ian Cunningham was, right? And I don't know what his philosophies are. I don't know how he's going to go about it. We didn't have that much time with him. I would have loved to ask, what are your philosophies on drafting and things like that? But you heard it in there, right? There was a couple times where it was just like, Jeff, please, Jeff, please, Jeff, answer my question, Jeff.
It's like, oh, well, all right.
It's like y'all know he's the assistant GM, right? Like, Ryan's right there. But it is... it is funny, like to see. Well, I would say the similarities in the openness that Ian Cunningham had and how Jeff King is. Right, he's like, look, we got our plan, we got our philosophy. I love what he said. Our board don't look like nobody else's. And what you whispering for? She done came down here. She all in front of the camera.
I'm gonna say, Mama came to save her.
Get up.
I was going to say another thing that and I know Ryan didn't talk as much as Jeff, but just to kind of give it the respect, I thought he did a very honorable job of kind of not glossing over, but mentioning the whole compensation thing and compensatory picks. And
I ain't gonna lie to you. Like the video if you agree with me. Bro, he wanted to say F this mug so bad. Y'all done screwed me over. But you know what? We still gonna kick y'all. Hit that thumbs up if you agree.
Yep. That's exactly what I thought. He's like, I'm gonna go the real respectful route, and we gonna control what we can control in the building. We still got the players, because at the end of the day, what did he say? At the end of the day, we're still gonna, go through our process and do what we need to do. So that was the best way to answer it, because my God, we all know we got screwed. You got screwed. Like it makes absolutely no sense. Like Matt Ryan said it. It's everybody said it. It is what it is at this point.
I'm gonna give you the full screen here. Give the Jordan JC answer on how you would have responded to that. Jordan JC, as you are running the Chicago Bears here, what are your thoughts on the not getting the compensatory picks, and then going back to the commissioner and everyone saying you should have got him, and they still said up yours?
Well, you know what? I went back to the team, and we had some very private internal conversations, and we all came to the conclusion that screw the league, okay? I don't like the fact that we got screwed out of our picks. It's clear that we developed Ian Cunningham. Ian Cunningham is the decision maker over there. Matt Ryan just threw it all in our face. He said he wasn't doing anything to make decisions. He told you clear as day, and yet you still didn't give us our picks. We're winning the Super Bowl this year. Bear down.
Thanks, Ryan. It truly is. Like, I heard Ryan sitting there. It's just like, yeah, we talked to him. Listen, I don't want to gloss over it, but it's unfortunate. And we're gonna move on. We're gonna go about our process. I know he got a punching bag hanging in that room.
With holes in his office.
Just straight uppercuts, just straight gut shots.
Good God! I feel his pain. I feel it.
Yeah, that one sucks, bro. Because listen, I don't even want to get back on it realistically, but it sucks because it's like, I can see what's going to come from it.
Mm-hmm.
You will never have a black final. What are they calling it? Final decision maker. Essentially, that's not what they call it. Some the final say or whatever. The guy that makes the final decision. You'll never have one of those again. Because why would I give you picks? Why would I? All the women in this house just disrespect this show. Lulu just walk in the screen.
Yeah, I need love too.
The lights are on because of me. The lights are on because of me. Y'all know this, right?
That's hilarious.
I'm the one selling the records. Anybody coming to see you, Lulu? They kind of are. But no, like I just, it's sad what it's going to become now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It truly is. And like maybe the Falcons weren't being disingenuous in this, but everyone else will, and everyone will steal the cookie and then hide their hand. And we already know that's coming. So have fun with that, NFL.
Whatever. Yeah,
it is what it is. Like you said, Super Bowl or bust this year.
That's right.
And by bust, I mean bust you upside your head. That's kind of where we're at with this. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We are 3 days away from the draft. We're at Tuesday, 2 days away from the 2 days away from the NFL draft. We'll be live with the full team in the building for the draft. I'll have the screen up here. We'll have a nice doom on the board. I mean, and the Chicago Bears will get all the way to 25, and with our luck, they'll trade out of it after we're live for about 3.5 hours.
That'll be great.
There will be food here. We will also have a Jordan sleeping cam. You might want to switch spots. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might want to switch spots. We might need to get you a regular chair.
Somebody at my job literally says they know you from ESPN 1000. They're actually a Packers fan because I work with a lot of contractors from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They literally said they know you, and I told them that about our show. They said they seen an episode where I was asleep, and I was just like, I wasn't asleep. I was playing. I wasn't asleep.
Hey.
I never sleep.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you ever saw the video, but it is still on social media.
Oh yeah, I did see you.
We've got the preview video of you asleep. You can't say I wasn't asleep.
No, I didn't. No, that one. I was knocked out. That you don't make that noise.
It's the choking and almost dying that seems to always happen. Get a CPAP. Do they make a travel CPAP one that you could just have portable with you for naps in the car? Do they?
I don't know.
JC might need that. JC might need that one. Before we get up out of here, Dan Tanner with a super chat said, "What up, fellas? Yep, Billy's gone. It's gonna be hard to find a coach that chews gum with that kind of intensity." We won't have any more bubblegum Billy. I can't believe he was here all this time and didn't get a Wrigley sponsorship. That is crazy. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. For the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. This is your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.
Yes, sir.